Jim's in Hounslow. Jim, what would you like to say?
Yeah, hi there, James.
Hello, Jim.
So I would just like to talk about the mental effect and, this is having on kids or young people of my age. The whole Brexit, I'm going to call it a scandal,
yes,
is really damaging to the future of this country, and people aren't quite understanding, how bad this is going to be for the future, because we are, as young adults in education, planning to continue to further education, hopefully get degrees. We are, what I like to think, the majority stakeholders of Brexit. We have, this affects our lives the most because we are the next generation. We are this country's.
Are you not encouraged slightly by the thing about the mafia?
No, not at all. Because hearing that conversation you've just had with that gent, forgot his name. That's the sort of thing.
Les and his son. I don't know his son's name, but he had to put his son on it.
That's the sort of thing that leaves us so worried, because people like that have decided, the future of our country and where we're going. I think it's the country's being controlled, by right wing. I call them extremists, and I think it's normalised racism, and so many problems in our society have just sort of come out. And for young people, we don't understand, because we don't hold the political knowledge to as these people do. So, we're struggling. We're sort of in a bubble of sort of...
Well, look, no, you can't speak for every young person in the country any more than I can speak for every surprisingly sprightly middle-aged person in the country. But I recognise the generational divide, and most of the research supports you. What are you going to do, Jim?
Well, that's the thing. I'm a business student. I've got a lot of ambitions, for future business-orientated career and stuff like that. And so do a lot of my friends. And obviously with Brexit, Europe and the EU has always been the sort of, closest trade link, the thing that, we talked about in school, because, it's the most accessible and stuff like that. But we're so limited now. We're seeing so many, people aren't woken enough, because they don't quite understand how much Brexit will impact these trade deals and how bad it is for the economy. And they're thinking, we haven't actually seen these trade links being cut off yet. But I think it's a very progressive thing.
Well, here's the other thing. We talk about trade links, and people who were adamant that they knew exactly what was going to happen are now absolutely adamant that nobody ever claimed they knew exactly what was going to happen. But Michael Gove this morning, and he's chosen his moment rather carefully, has made it pretty clear that there are going to be checks. There is going to be friction in the future for our trade with what is currently the largest frictionless trading bloc in the world. I don't even know off the top of my head whether it retains that status after we've left it, actually. It might be worth double-checking.
It will never be the same.
But how do you process? I want to give you advice, or not advice, that would be patronising. I want to actually give you some optimism, but today I can't, not just because of people who, literally get shown that the sky is blue and still furiously insist that it's bright pink, but because even Michael Gove now is contradicting the promises that were made by the Vote Leave campaign in the run-up to the election. So when you talk about the toll that it takes upon your generation, I don't know what I can do to help anymore.
There you go. People like Michael Gove, people who are so influential on my education, are contradicting themselves, and so are a lot of these, a lot of larger politicians, and that's what leaves us in such a difficult situation. And also, like veering off the subject of education, let's talk about, things like racism and stuff like that.
We have and we will, but I'm late for the break. And your perspective as a 17-year-old, it looks a lot closer to reality than some of the perspectives currently being shared by older people.